The House suspend the rules and pass H.R. 1850, the Palestinian International Terrorism Support Prevention Act of 2019, as amended.
The clerk will report the title of the bill.
H.R. 1850, a bill to impose sanctions with respect to foreign support for Palestinian terrorism and for other purposes.
Pursuant to the rule, the gentleman from New York, Mr. Engel, and the gentleman from New Jersey, Mr. Smith, each will control 20 minutes. The chair recognizes the gentleman from New York.
I ask unanimous consent that all members have 5 legislative days in which to revise and extend their remarks and include in the record extraneous material on H.R. 1850.
Without objection, so ordered.
I yield myself such time as I may consume.
The gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I submit in the congressional record an exchange of letters between me and the chairwoman of the Committee on Financial Services on H.R. 1850.
Without objection.
Mr. Speaker, let me start by thanking Mr. Mast of Florida and Mr. Gottheimer of New Jersey for their hard work on this legislation. The United States designated both Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad as foreign terrorist organizations more than 20 years ago. It's easy to see why Hamas is responsible for the deaths of more than 400 Israelis and at least 25 American citizens. As recently as May of this year, the group fired hundreds of rockets from Gaza into southern Israel, including at Israeli civilian areas in Tel Aviv. And Palestinian Islamic Jihad has taken credit for a number of terrorist attacks in Israel, including an attack that killed a New Jersey American student in 1995. Yet both groups, and particularly Hamas, still get cash from abroad. These funds are used to build tunnels into Israel and launch rockets at civilian populations. It's simply disgusting. No one benefits from terrorism, Mr. Speaker, not Israelis who just want to live in peace and security, not Palestinians, but are exploited, not Palestinians who want a state but are exploited by these terrorists. A Palestinian state will never be built on the backs of terrorism. Israel has the right to defend itself. The United States will continue to support that. In the meantime, we must do everything we can to prevent the loss of civilian life. That starts with cutting off the money to Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad. This bill would help do just that. It would impose new sanctions on those who support Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad, the deep pockets that are enabling these groups to wage their campaigns of violence. Of course, we don't want to punish innocent civilians, so this measure includes an important exception for humanitarian and medical assistance. This bill is designed to ensure that people in Gaza get what they need and that Hamas does not. It's a good, straightforward piece of legislation. I'm glad the House is considering it today, and I reserve the balance of my time.
The gentleman from New York reserves. The gentleman from